Welcome back to the Hurrdat Sports Show live from Summit League Media Day. Now joined by sophomore guard Emma Smith. Emma, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. I want to ask about this experience so far, as this is the first time they've done the Summit League Media Day here at this arena. What's it been like for you?
It's just been really cool to kind of meet the other athletes. I think it's just a really cool experience. You know, we get to play each other out in the court, and it's really competitive, but to just come together and see that we're a lot more alike, I think, than we all thought. So it's been really cool, and just to get to meet all the people, you know, who work behind the scenes here, and to just, I think it's good for me to do, especially being one of the younger ones here, just for future experiences.
Yeah, you had a heck of a freshman year last year. What did you learn the most? What surprised you think, from playing in this conference, but also just how do you have that first year to grow on to improve in this year?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about just the pace of the game. Obviously, it's a lot faster, so it's something I had to adjust to. But I think just getting the minutes that I did, I think it was really good for my confidence levels. I think that was something I kind of struggled with at the beginning. Obviously, I feel like any freshman coming in or newcomer coming in, it's tough to gain that confidence. Playing for a new coach and playing with a lot of different people, learning tendencies, and against new opponents that I've never faced before. So it took a little while, but now I feel like that's kind of the main thing I learned, is how important confidence and trust is in your game, and then that trust also that your coaches have in you.
There's not a lot of freshmen that are kind of thrown into the fire. So you started 29 out of 30 games a year ago, which means that your coach and the staff, they got a lot of confidence in you. When you think back in terms of looking at the Summit League itself, you know, we can talk about non-com, but when you talk about this conference and the great teams and the great players that you see night in and night out, what kind of adjustment was that for you? What do you think you learned about yourself, and what did you guys as a team learn about each other once you got into conference play?
I think a lot of it was we realized we really had to be a lot better on the defensive end. I think there's a lot of great players in this league, you know, a lot of people who can score at a really high level, and I think that was an adjustment we had to make. And I think also for me, especially in high school, you know, obviously defense is important, but I think you're more relied on to score a lot.
You got it. Yep.
When I got here, I was like, oh, this is just as much a part of the game as the offensive side. So that's something that I'm sure our, you know, defensive coach will be happy that I'm saying that.
They're going to love that. They're going to love that.
That I've recognized is important. So I think that's something as a team that we've kind of taken a hold on, like over spring and summer. That's like a focus that we have to have. But yeah, I would say it's the main thing probably.
One of the youngest players that has been named to one of the preseason teams, the second team preseason all-conference selection yourself. Coach talked about #progress. Kind of that's the mentality here. There are 9 returners on this squad. A lot of you are young, and so progress comes in different forms and fashion. So when you guys think about that, think, okay, what is it that where we look back at last year and say, you talked about defense, but as a unit, how do you come together and kind of mold and bring that culture, that #progress together, and be even better from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, I think a big area that we've made progress in is holding each other accountable, and I think that's something that obviously is going to accelerate our program. We have, like you said, a lot of returners. Last year that was a totally different story, so now we've seen what each other's capable of. So I think every day when we come in, we can hold each other to that standard. And we all know, Coach Woods likes to say, you know, you call each other up, not out. So we're calling each other to a higher level. We're doing it for, you know, the right reasons. Obviously, we know where our program can go. So I think that's something that is just night and day difference from last year. You know, we can really hold each other accountable to get to that next level.
That's awesome.
Shooting threes is the way this team likes to score. Your coach told us first 30 minutes of practice is a shooting drill. When you guys go on the court, though, how are you intentionally getting better in that shooting? Because you guys led the league last year, and you guys are looking to get better at that. How do you actually get better instead of just going out in the court and you're just putting shots up?
Yeah, I think our coaches put a lot of emphasis on shots that we're going to take in the game. Obviously, you know, it's important for repetition. Like all shooters, you know, you need to get a lot of shots up and just feel confident in your shot. But a lot of the drills we do at the beginning are, you know, game speed, fast pace, coming off of little screens we'll set for each other, like ones we got to get off quick. So I think that kind of helps with the pace of the game. Like obviously, you're not going to get wide open shots all game long, but it is good to practice those, of course, because those are the ones you really got to hit. But the coaches instill a lot of confidence in us just to keep shooting. We have a lot of good shooters, and we do some testing, like green light stuff. So if you pass those tests, you know, you're technically able to shoot. You know, and if it's a good shot early in the shot clock. So I think that just shows like their confidence in us. So then in that way we can also trust each other in that way. You know, if we know we put in the work and pass these tests, and once games come around, you trust each other.
Emma, I always say from freshman to sophomore year can be the biggest jump for an athlete in their ability and confidence. Where do you want to see that jump for you?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like I want to see a lot of improvement in just my passing and facilitating abilities. I think that's something I've really focused on in the summer. Obviously, I want to get more shots up and just be a smarter player. But I think I really want to. We lost a good point guard in Allie Har last year, and obviously we have a lot of other point guards coming up. But I want to be a guard that can do both sides, do both sides of the ball, so we can kind of play. I can play different positions and hopefully get a lot of other people open. I think we have a lot more potential, a lot more. We can have 5 people out there who can score at the same time. So I think it'll just, make me happy to facilitate a little more and just see some of my teammates get a lot of good points too.
You guys mentioned accountability. Coach talked about she isn't necessarily going to be yeller in practice, but she's going to show you stats. She's going to show you film. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when you have to sit through that, it can almost be worse. You maybe would rather have just been yelled at out at midcourt, right? But and so when you guys do that, when you have those sessions, what are some of the takeaways? Is it just necessarily, hey, we've got to be better at that, or is it true teaching moments, and then you guys have to go out and execute?
I think it is a lot of the times where we can go out and put it into practice and apply, but it is good to see. They'll split up the statistics with however many seconds and the shot clock is left and where our highest clip is at that. And I think it's really interesting to see and just know that our coaches are putting in that work. Obviously, it takes a lot of work for them to put through those statistics and analyze the film. So just know that they're working on that half for us, and for us, to go out and put it into practice, I feel like is really important.
Absolutely.
Well, Emma, super quick before we wrap up the show, we've got some fun questions for you to get to know you and the team a little bit better. First one's always my favorite. Any superstitions for you or your teammates that you notice?
Oh.
Pre-game rituals, anything fun?
Well, I'm trying to think. I play a lot of worship music and softer music for the game, like the Fray. That's my favorite band. I like to listen to that before the game. We don't really have anything crazy that I know of. Some people wouldn't. Well, she's gone now, but something with tying her shoes last year, something specific. Yeah. But she's gone now. But I try not to be too superstitious before.
Okay.
But yeah.
Next one, favorite road trip snacks.
I'm a foodie, so this is a good one. They make us really good little snack packs when we go on the road.
Aww.
But I love these little what is it? The little Nutella things. Those are good.
Okay, good. There you go.
And
with the dips where you dip the pretzel
dips.
or the
yeah, I never get them.
Yep.
I never get them myself, but it's right when we go on the road, those are in there. I'm
your special treat.
Literally.
That's a win.
Then I don't know, just any other little goldfish, Cheez-Its, all those.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Last one, who's your basketball role model?
Oh wow, that's such a good question. Wow, I haven't thought about that in such a long time.
That's okay. It's a tough one. It's a hard one. You think about all the different people you've come across.
Yeah. I would say especially the Nuggets. I really like the way. I really like the way Jokic plays. He just plays in a bunch of different positions. Being a center, and still being able to facilitate the ball as well as he does. And I think it's cool that, basketball obviously means a lot to him, but it's not his life. I like the little balance that he has. So seeing that, kind of through social media, I feel like that's been a really cool thing to see. Obviously I don't want to just be known as a basketball player. I'm a person and I'm a student first. So I think that that's a really cool thing to see.
Did you guys get to enjoy all the celebrations in the city at all? Basketball City now?
See, I was actually home right after they won, but I did get to. My brother is the biggest Nuggets fan you'll ever meet. So he flew out and went to the first game of the finals, but it was so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really happy for that.
Very cool.
So maybe another championship coming to Denver is what you're saying.
I'm hoping. I hope so. I'll be there. I'm staying in town for the next one.
Emma, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much.